At Sierra, discover great deals on top brand workout gear, like high-quality bikes, which might lead to another discovery. Getting back on the saddle isn't always comfortable. Good news is Sierra has massage guns. And chafe wipes, too. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
What is Café Mocha? Café Mocha is experts, celebrities.
What's up? This is Belle Biv DeVoe.
Yours truly, Idris Elba.
This is Fantasia.
This is In Vogue.
This is India Ari.
So much more. All from a woman's perspective.
What flavor are you, baby?
This is Café Mocha.
Café Mocha, radio from a woman's perspective with Loni Love, Yo-Yo, and Angelique. Welcome to the show. Actress Yvette Nicole Brown had a star-studded wedding in Beverly Hills last month. Loni Love was there. They'll talk love, weddings, and yeah, she's got a new project out this week. Yvette Nicole Brown, next on Café Mocha.
Well, have you seen the CNN documentary, Luther, Never Too Much?
No, we went to look for it, but the fires is happening here in Los Angeles. So when we went back to CNN, we couldn't get it. And they showed us all these other channels that could possibly have it, and we could never see it.
Did you get to see it, Angie?
No.
Well, I saw it, and it will be playing. I mean, I'm pretty sure CNN, they need ratings. So they've been playing it, but because, like you said, the fires, it got interrupted. But I did get to see it New Year's Day, and it's been playing, and you'll catch it. If you can watch the documentary, it's a great documentary about the R&B sensation Luther. But I wanted to get you ladies' opinion because a part of it during the documentary, they basically they actually tried to paint Patti LaBelle as a villain in exposing Luther's sexuality. Now, Patti LaBelle was a close friend, and everybody knows that. And she had appeared on Watch What Happens Live. This was some years back. And Andy Cohen had asked if Luther's struggled with coming out publicly. And then Patti answered and basically said, we talked about it. He didn't want his mother to be upset, although she might have known, but he wasn't going to come out and say this to the world. And in the film, Richard Mark, who is also the singer and executive producer of this film, said, one of the things that really pissed me off is that there are people who have talked about his personal life, people who he considers friends. So basically, that has happened. And, I just wanted you ladies' opinion. I mean, do you think it was right for the film to edit this? Do you think it was right for Patti to give her opinion about her friend after he passed?
Well, I don't think it's ever okay to out people, even and especially after they're gone. But my understanding is that CNN or the producers of this documentary did a full interview with Patti LaBelle, where she shared all her thoughts and ongoing relationship with Luther. And because of little behind the scenes stuff, they didn't wind up using it, and they went and pulled something from somewhere else. Is that true? What do you know about that?
Yeah, she basically, they wanted her to sign a release, and her team said, well, we'll sign the release when we see the full edited documentary. And the producers didn't want to give her that power. So she said, well, then don't use my interview. So that's what happened. She wouldn't sign a release. Mm-hmm. But they did end up editing this little piece where she's talking about Luther on this talk show. So that is what happened. Yo-Yo, what are your thoughts on this?
The trick is not being tricked. I think she was tricked. I know for sure. I know her demeanor. I know her heart and her love for her fellow the artist that she's worked with so many years. She would never do anything out of despite or it was cut. I mean, it's almost like when you have a kid growing up, everyone kind of knows it, but no one knows it, and you don't want it to come out of your mouth. To be the first one to say what pretty much I think everybody already knew. So I think she was just devastated by that. And the fact, like you said, it was used out of context. I mean,
Yeah, the edit was really, is what made people, and a lot of people that don't know the history of Patty and Luther's relationship, you know how they just jump on everything today. In the actual documentary, there was clippings of Luther talking about his sexuality, where he says, quote, questions of my sexuality, well, I suppose will just always be questions. Let me tell you who I owe answers to. What I owe you is my music, my talent, my best effort. That's all. He continued, I will never deny or confirm that any such rumors about personal things like that are true or untrue. I won't give the satisfaction of a denial because that is a submission of sort. I won't even address it. It's just say, mind your F business. That's my response to that. Yeah. So it's going to be ongoing, but, let's remember that Patti LaBelle is 80 years old, and that we still need to give her some respect. And, how old people going to talk
not
anyway.
Not just some, but the older you get, they say, you ever seen that meme where they say, the old lady goes to the shoe store and the shoe doesn't fit, and she say, don't fit my feet. So they say things that we would normally say with more matter of fact than we would.
Yeah, and Patty probably don't even know about it. This is probably her son Ziri getting all upset. Patty don't even know what's happening. 80 years old.
Patty, like everybody knew. Oh, excuse me.
All right, it's Café Mocha.
Standing in solidarity from a woman's perspective. It's Café Mocha.
It's Café Mocha. Loni Love, Yo-Yo, and Angelique on the line. She's one of our favorites, Yo-Yo. Yvette Nicole Brown. She's an Emmy-nominated actress, writer, producer, and host. You know her from her roles in Community, The Mayor, Drake and Josh, The Odd Couple, Big Shots, Act Your Age. I mean, she continues to work. And you know her from all her wonderful films, but she has a new project that is so wonderful. And so she stepped into Café Mocha to tell us about it. What's up, Yvette Nicole Brown?
What's up, Mocha Radio? Yo, Loni Love. I love y'all.
We love you too, sis. And we are so excited about your new show, Carl Weber's The Family Business, New Orleans. Okay, this is a BET original series, and it will premiere 2 episodes January the 23rd, and then exclusively on BET Plus. And then the series will continue with 1 episode weekly with the finale on Thursday, March the 6th. Tell us about your character, Yvette. I'm so excited about this project for you.
I want to say, first of all, I'm excited to be on Café Mocha. You guys have been doing this for a very long time and doing it so well. And it's great to have a place that we can come and talk about what we're doing with sisters and to feel the love. So thank you for having me. The show is a continuation of The Family Business, which is, I think it's in its 5th season on BET already. Mm-hmm. And this is the new iteration. We're expanding the world, and now we're going to be down in New Orleans with a continuation of the Duncan family saga. And my character is Monique. I play the cousin of Lela Rochon, who plays Big Shirley Duncan. And so I'm just excited to be there to support her in every episode. And it's a very serious, dramatic, fun show, and I bring a little bit of the comedic love in every scene,
which you do so well.
How does it get serious, then get funny?
Well, yeah, like it's really, listen, these are people that are in the world. They're a good family, but they might be doing some criminal activities. So it's a drama, And so if you watch the original Family Business, these are people that are, they have their family business, which is the front-facing business, but they also have what they do in the back. And so on our show, our front-facing business is Midnight Blues, which is a speakeasy kind of casino in New Orleans, and that's run by Big Shirley, played by the amazing Lela Rochon Fuqua, and her son, Brandon T. Jackson, who plays Marquise, and they run that family business. But, they have to keep the lights on and keep everybody alive. So there's some things that happen behind the scenes that are a little darker.
I know it's such a good series, The Family Business. And so I was excited when I saw, this spinoff of it. But your character, Monique, you said it brings the levity, something to it. That was not a challenge for you, but why did you want to take this role?
I had the pleasure of working with Tridestin, who are the producers of this show, and that's Trey Haley, Indy Brown, and Carl Weber, of course, is over the Family Business umbrella. But I worked with Trey and Indy on Always a Bridesmaid, the movie that I wrote a few years ago. And so I already knew that they were down for the Brown family and that I could trust them. So knowing that they were continuing the family business story in New Orleans and they were branching out, I was like, oh, I'd love to come in and play a little bit if I can. So it was a very easy yes. And then also, you both know, Lila Rashawn is just a beast. And we've been watching and supporting and loving her work for forever. So the chance to get to work with Lila and steal from Lila, I believe in stealing from the best. So I was like, I get to go and watch her do what she does and put some stuff in my little back pocket. So that was also a draw for me. It was really, really wonderful. And, they let me be me. Even though the show is, a drama, they let me just infuse a little bit of silliness where I could, where it worked. And I'm glad I got to do that.
Sounds like another Emmy nomination. That's what it sounds like to me.
Now, coming from an Emmy winner like you, I'll take it.
So sweet.
Yes. Yvette, now why New Orleans? The emphasis on New Orleans. Now, is this, you've always been in New Orleans, or is this something new?
This is something new. Like, they're just branching out the world. So this is now the new place that the Duncan family has, family members. And I think they, I'd have to ask Carl Weber and Indy and Trey why they felt this was the right time to take it to New Orleans. But we were so welcomed by the city when we were down there shooting. And, it's just when you set foot on the ground, you can feel the gravitas and the love and the sense of community down there. So I think it's a perfect place for the next setting for the Duncan family.
It's Cafe Mocha. On the line, actress Yvette Nicole Brown. We're talking about Carl Weber's The Family Business, New Orleans. Let me tell y'all who's also part of the cast. Brandon T. Jackson, Layla Rashawn, of course, Benjamin Stevens, Pooch Hall, Quincy Brown, David Banner, and Orlando Jones, as well as Yvette Nicole Brown. Yvette, tell us, what is it like? I mean, because your experience, you've worked with a lot of casts, but how fun was it working with this cast?
It's anytime I get to work with us, it's a whole nother level of joy. Like I was blessed to work with mostly all Black creators and castmates on Act Your Age, which, is currently streaming on Netflix. So I have had experiences with the Blackness. But this was the first time that everyone involved, from the creators, the network, the showrunner, the writers, the directors, the cast, everybody behind the scenes, it was just a festival of Blackness. So that just felt like, we had the cookout every day. It was like coming to work and going to a family reunion or the cookout every single day. It was really, really a wonderful experience.
I love that. The Family Business New Orleans premieres the first 2 episodes January 23rd, and then they will continue on until Thursday, March the 6th on BET Plus. It's Cafe Mocha, Loni Love, Yo-Yo, and Angelique on the line. One of our favorite actresses, Yvette Nicole Brown. Now, Yvette, of course, the whole city of LA and LA County has experienced these devastating wildfires. We want to just ask first, how are you? How's your family? How's people that are close to you?
We thankfully are not in the direct line of fire. So though we've been, watching what is the Watch Duty app, which I think everybody that's out in LA should have that app on their phone right now, because it tells you moment by moment which way the fire is going. So even though those of us that are not in the line of fire, we're still up all night watching the Watch app to make sure that the wind hasn't blown it in another direction. So it's been literally anxiety at a level I can't even quantify. And then besides being concerned about yourself, we're also hearing from friends and family members that are displaced or worse, have lost everything, evacuating. So it's been a lot. Like, everyone that I talk to is, we say, we're texting each other, are you okay? And everybody's response is, I'm okay, but I'm scared, or I'm okay, but I'm worried, or I'm not okay. So it's been a lot. And then the extra layer of stress for me has been the way they've been coming for Mayor Bass. It makes no sense for people that don't even live here, people that don't understand how civics work, don't understand how municipalities work, to hear them pile everything that happened in this natural disaster of historic proportions. They've laid all of that blame at the feet of this woman. And Karen Bass has been a public servant her entire life. She is a citizen, a child of Los Angeles. She loves this city. She left a job in Congress to come and run to lead this city, and she's doing a great job. And the idea that because the winds blew in this direction in a natural disaster, they're blaming her for cities she's not even a mayor of. Like, it's just, I don't know how we got here, although as a Black woman in America, I do. But I am using every moment that I have and every opportunity I have to make sure people know that what is happening to that woman is wrong. And if they are successful in removing her, we will be in a world of trouble, because no one loves this city the way Karen Bass loves this city.
Definitely. And, you also called out someone, a reality show star, Khloe Kardashian. She put out a post basically out of all the people name calling. Can I first say, we didn't need that, right? We just here we are, like, literally, for our listeners that are not in Los Angeles, literally there was fires. And there was this hard windstorm, and we are all like, in every 10 minutes checking this app, like Yvette said. So put yourself in that scenario, and then when you check Twitter, you see someone going, "Oh, the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, is a joke," and it was Khloe Kardashian, and someone had to speak up, and people did start speaking up. But when you are a star, someone like Yvette Nicole Brown, she could have kept quiet, but Yvette did not do that.
Right.
Yvette, and I was so happy that she did. What she actually did was she pulled up an article from 2022 when Los Angeles was in the midst of a drought, and she basically reposted that and said, everybody was supposed to be conserving water then. The Kardashians, used over so many millions, hundreds of gallons of water.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Over the limit. Over 330,000 gallons over the limit. And what my issue is the hypocrisy, because you cannot say that you care about this city and care about fires and water conservation and blame the Black woman for what is not her job, right? It was not her. She did not cause this fire. She could not have fixed what happened in this fire. You blame her. But meanwhile, when we were in a drought, which could have caused a whole bunch of other wildfires, you were okay. Your family was okay with wasting 330,000 gallons of water over the limit that each were given. So do you care about the wildfires or not?
Definitely.
So what's the joke here? Who's the joke here? You know what I mean? I don't play when it comes to us, and I don't play when it comes to what matters. I always go back to Representative John Lewis, who is my North Star when it comes to fighting the good fight. And he always says there is a time to get into good trouble, necessary trouble. And this is necessary good trouble. And I've always said I have my platform for one reason, to shine a light on what matters. And if I lose jobs or lose my career or lose anything else because I spoke up for what is right, I'll be fine. When I leave this earth, I will be on the right side of history. I don't care what I lose to get there, but I will be on the right side of history. And I am determined to fight for any good person that is doing a good job. And I won't let anybody talk slick about somebody that's doing a good job.
So I know that's right. I know that's right.
And I don't care what the repercussions are. That's the thing I want people to understand. It's okay to speak up when you know that you're telling the truth and it's the right thing to do. We spend so much time, I got to keep my bag. What good is your bag if people are dying? What good is your bag if somebody's suffering? And the other side of it is, the thing that bothers me the most, and me and Kim Whitley talked about this when TMZ called us coming out of a Rite Aid, we said, this woman cares about this city. So beyond being a mayor, she's sad because of what's happening in LA to the city she loves. And she has to show up every day and fight for us. And people are blaming her.
And
she knows it's not her fault. Yes. And this is the other thing I want to say about the fires. People don't realize the reason they were able to grow so fast that first night is because of the winds, hurricane level winds, which meant the helicopters and the planes that dropped the water could not fly that first night. Mm-hmm. So people said she didn't do anything. What was she supposed to do? Stop the wind? Like, what are y'all doing?
Definitely.
What are y'all doing?
People have to understand the fire started in an area we call Palisades, Pacific Palisades. It was around 10:30. And then all of a sudden, and there was a windstorm that was predicted. And when we say a windstorm, this is something that hasn't happened in LA in decades. I don't think. I think it was like the first time. So it was like 100-mile-per-hour winds. And when that happened, they had to call off the planes, they had to call off the helicopters, the super scoopers, all that kind of stuff. And that made the embers of the fire just traveled. And it was nothing that could be done. Also, now we have the fire chief from LA County explaining there was no way to he's actually backing up what the governor of California and the mayor is saying, is that there was no way that they could fight that fire. For celebrities to start blaming, and like you said, it's the total hypocrisy. People got behind Yvette. They really, it brought attention to it, and it's making people rethink. And I think that is why, it was a good thing for you to speak up, because it's making people rethink, because people are starting to get, how they start to get, they lose it. Like, let's start blaming and we're going to start suing and everybody, first of all, we still have fires going right now. Still, right now, they have not been contained. So we're still fighting, and it takes another windstorm could come, and then boom, the wind changes direction or it goes over to another place. So what our focus should be is getting these fires under control, getting the right amount of people, and that's what Mayor Bass and the governor has been doing. So thank you so much for that.
Can I say one more thing, Lon? Can I say one more thing?
Of course.
Well, people don't know. I know Mayor Bass personally. I've been a fan of hers when she was in Congress. What people don't know about her is that she's a very kind, meek, humble woman. So in the way that other people will put themselves out front and beat back and go, wait a minute, you don't know this about me, she will never do that. And that's why those of us that do know her are stepping up and speaking up for her, because that's just not her nature. She's someone who quietly works. She quietly does good work. And the other thing I want to say, the trip to Ghana, she was asked to go to Ghana by President Biden. Have you ever heard the phrase, I serve under the privilege or the pleasure of the president? That means when the president asks you to do something, you do it. You don't tell the president of the United States no. So when he asked her to go to Ghana for the inauguration of the president there, she said yes. But as soon as she found out something was happening, she got on a military plane. I don't know anybody that's ever ridden on a military plane or seen a military plane. This is not cushy and delightful. This is holding on to something during turbulence, trying to get back as quickly as you can. But she won't talk about that. I'm going to talk about that. So people need to just release the pressure off her neck. Let her work. And if you see some type of petition coming by saying, I support Mayor Bass, sign it.
Check out Yvette Nicole Brown and the new BET series, The Family Business, New Orleans. More coming up on Café Mocha.
Standing in solidarity from a woman's perspective. It's Café Mocha.
Café Mocha's Loni Love, Yo-Yo, and Angelique. Actress Yvette Nicole Brown is on the line.
I love to see your frustration, because it's, born and raised in California, having a community leader who not only talks the talk, but walks the walk in the communities, in the urban communities, and lending her services everywhere she could be. We were all devastated by what's going on in Los Angeles, and the fight that I saw you have through social media made us all feel proud.
Yeah, definitely. And we would continue to support Mayor Bass and the whole entire county of Los Angeles. And she is working behind the scenes, because she sure did get that the LA fire chief together.
That a mess.
I don't know. Tell me what happened.
The lady basically decided she was going to try to find some cover and blame Mayor Bass for some stuff that she had did or missed doing or whatever. I don't even know what she was trying to hide from, but she definitely tried to tuck up under Mayor Bass and blame her. And Mayor Bass, and this is the other thing about her, you notice she's not fired. So what does that say about the character of Mayor Bass?
Right.
You see what I mean? Because somebody else would have got her right up out of there with that mess she tried to pull.
She went on CNN because there are like three fire chiefs. She's the fire chief for Los Angeles and the city. And so, CNN is like, everybody just so busy want to point blame while we're in the midst of a fire. And you would think as a fire chief, you're going to stand behind your city. You're going to stand behind your mayor, whatever, right? She gets up there and the lady's like, well, what happened? Well, we had resources that were taken from us and we didn't have all the resources. And we're like, wait, what?
Lies.
What?
Lies. And Loni, you know why it happened too? Because they had already started that DEI hire mess and had a picture of her and two other women. So she was thinking, oh, they about to come for us. Let me make sure I'm out of the line of fire. That is the most disgraceful thing I think I've ever seen. But going back again to the character of Mayor Bass said, we got a fight ahead of us. We will discuss all of this after everybody is safe and taken care of.
Right.
So we're going to be a united front. We're going to get this fire situation together, and then we'll discuss what happened. That's the leader.
And just for the record, there was $17 million cut from a $800 million $17 budget. So everybody, because the Republicans were trying to run on, they cut $17 million. No, you know what was remaining? $800 million.
Which they had already gone over, Lon. That's the other thing. Reese Colbert is amazing with receipts.
Yes.
They had already gone over their budget. What people don't understand, the budget is just on paper what it is. But when a natural disaster happens, they go over the budget all the time. Yeah. So it didn't matter what the budget number said. When it was needed, they just take more money and fix it. So it all was like a red herring. It was like a smoke screen. Look over here instead of over here. And let's blame the black woman. No, not on our watch. Not on our watch.
Definitely. So, but we will keep abreast of that. And we thank you, Yvette Nicole Brown, for speaking up for all of LA. It's not even about, it's for all of LA. LA is the entertainment capital of the world. And so many people are very emotional, very understandable. But what we need to do is concentrate and get those fires under control. And that's what Mayor Bass and the governor are doing. Well, we're going to change it up. We're going to talk about this wedding I went to. It was really grand, y'all. It's Café Mocha with Loni Love, Yo-Yo, and Angelique. On the line, actress Yvette Nicole Brown. Something great happens in December. Yvette. Hey, girl. Yvette got married.
Got married.
When love
got a ball and chain.
Oh, my goodness.
You better answer. You better answer.
Okay, walk us through it. We're so excited and happy for you, but walk us through it. Tell us what you want to tell us about your marriage to Anthony Davis.
First of all, thank you for coming, Lon. It was great to have you there. If you get a chance to invite Loni Love to any event, especially a wedding, just go on and do it because she's going to bring the fun. Loni was lit and just lit from day one. Not
that's because of the open bar. Thank you.
Life. Clear. But no, it was, listen, I've been talking a lot about what being 53 years old and finding the love of my life at 51. I think that society tells us often that time is running out and you better come on, get your man, get your kids, get your house, whatever it is that they think that we should have by a certain time. And I hope that my story tells people that it's never too late and that delay is not denial. And it's better to wait for the one, I've been saying, it's the one that your heart loves. And I had heard people for years say that, when you meet the one, you'll know. And I was like, what are you talking about? You know, you really do know. It's literally a feeling of peace and understanding that this is the one that fits with me. Like my husband is as weird as I am, as silly as I am. We'll be in a grocery store and just start dancing if the right song comes on. And we invite everybody else to just enjoy the foolishness. Our song that we came out on, our introductory song, was I Ain't Got Nothing But Love for You, Baby, from the 5 Heartbeats. And when I say we acted it out and sang and danced like some fools in front of all them people, we absolutely did. And everybody had a great time. So It was wonderful. It was exactly what I hoped the day would be, not just for me and Tony, but for everybody that we love that was able to come. So
let me tell you
really
something.
wonderful.
Yo, she is the mayor of Hollywood, okay?
Yes.
Because every and anybody that was in town made that wedding. We're talking about Octavia Spencer. We had casting directors. We had actors. We had.
Jimmy Jam was up in there. Denise
Who?
Williams was up in there.
Yes.
Denise Williams.
Yes.
Leslie Odom Jr.
What?
Yes.
We had two dream girls, Loretta and Shirley Ralph were in there.
Yes.
Yeah, it was dope. We had Chris Summer and Don Lewis. Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I took pictures with everybody because you know how I am, yo. I'm gonna get my pictures, okay? I almost forgot to get a picture with the bride and the groom because I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I am not surprised everybody was there. People love Yvette. Yvette lives in her truth, which is so beautiful to see when it comes to a person who has experienced such success as a writer, producer, and an actor. How did you find your love?
Thank you. You know, we were friends when we were in our 20s. We were in an acting class together at church, and he was married at the time, so I would never. And he ended up moving back to New York with his family, and then 25 years went by. And I thought of him often because he was such a lovely, fun friend. And I would think, oh, Tony, I wonder how Tony's doing. And he ended up getting divorced a few years ago, and we both lost our moms. And so when I lost my mom, he found me. He found me online, and we started writing and talking to each other, and a friendship grew again, and then that blossomed into love. And it's just, I never would have in a million years thought that it would happen. So it was really, we feel ordained by God and our moms. We feel like our moms were up in heaven, moving some things around for this to happen.
Dancing like Loni, huh?
Absolutely.
Me and Octavia sit over there looking like the two drunk aunties with our wine, and we were so happy for Yvette. And two things that I want to talk about from your wedding. And you guys, if you go on Yvette's Instagram, you can see the pictures. There are articles. She was in Bride. She was in People magazine. But during the actual ceremony, Yvette went down the aisle. Her brother walked her down the aisle halfway, and then she went. And I got that. And everybody bawling then, right? Tony, her husband, runs away. We're like, wait, what the hell is happening? He went down the aisle. We're like, wait, what, I need to. And he brings her father rolling down in a wheelchair. Yvette, that moment.
My dad, yeah.
Let's talk about
it. Listen, I could get full just thinking about it. My dad has dementia, and I've been his caregiver for 11 years. And in the last 6 months, he had to go into an assisted living situation because he fell and could no longer walk. And with his dementia, it was more than I could do. And so it was already heartbreaking to not have him with me anymore. And I didn't think he could come to the wedding because, again, he's in a wheelchair, and it was like, how do we, his comfort, and how do we work it out? Tony, without my knowledge, had been speaking to his caregivers, and they organized everything with the hotel for them to bring him. They got a car service and medical transport and all of it to make sure my dad was there and he didn't miss the day. So, and what people don't know, because I got a couple of friends on it that were like, is he leaving her at the altar? What is happening? He said to me before he went back to get my dad, he said, do you trust me? And I said, yes. And he said, I'll be right back. And so people didn't hear him say that to me. So that's why I didn't think he was leaving me. And so then when he brought my dad in, it was just like, everybody lost it because everybody knows, one, how much I love my daddy. And just that he would do that for me, and knowing that even though I had said it was okay, he knew that it would not be the same if my father wasn't there. And he made sure my father was there. And that's just, I don't even know what to say.
Bring me some tissue. I'm over here like, oh.
If you want to check out her wedding pictures, People magazine got the exclusive. So go to people.com, or on Instagram, go to Yvette Nicole Brown. More on the way with Café Mocha.
Here's your dose of espresso. Strong, hot news now.
This is The Espresso. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett was pushing to protect civil rights. She got into it with a congresswoman from South Carolina who threatened to take it outside.
so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I am reclaiming my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr. Chairman, the committee is not in order.
Order. Is it allowed in the rules for a member to incite violence against another member? I mean, she said she wants to take it outside.
Anyway, tennis champ Naomi Osaka was in Australia last week, worried about her home back in Beverly Hills.
It's so funny, I was watching the fire map, and the fire's like 3 blocks from my house. I had someone go and get my daughter's birth certificate and all that.
Now, if you saw the documentary Where's Wendy Williams, you can understand why her conservator says she's incapacitated. But Charlemagne the God recently talked to her.
She didn't skip a beat. She actually said to me when she called me, she was like, "Why are you answering the phone like we just spoke yesterday?" Like she wanted me to be more excited. There ain't nothing incapacitated about Wendy Williams.
That's the espresso.
This is Café Mocha. Radio from a woman's perspective.
Café Mocha with actress and newlywed Yvette Nicole Brown. Let's get back into it.
Okay, that was. And then the second moment that I really loved was as I was going around with my drink, taking my photos of everyone in this fabulous reception. There was her cast from Community. I mean, when I say everybody, it was Thomas, it was Danny, it was Dr. Ken, it was Joel.
Yeah.
How did you feel knowing that your cast came to support you from Community?
I felt it felt wonderful. Only Donald and Allison couldn't make it because they were both working out of the country. But not just my cast members, but all of their spouses came as well, which was just wonderful because I grew up with them. You know, we did Community back in 2009. So can't even do the count, 15 years ago, however it was. So for them to all show up for me, it was like having my family there. And they also all knew my mom. So anybody that was at the wedding, as Loni did too, Loni knew little Franny. So anyone that knew my mother that was there, it really touched me at another level because I knew that you all knew, one, how hard it has been for me to find love. It's the first thing. And then second, you all knew how much it would have meant for my mother to have been able to be there. So seeing the entire cast show up and it was wonderful.
Speaking of your mother, real quick, Loni, I just wanted to ask you, Yvette, what are some things you've taken away? You know, you wake up and say, damn, I'm just like my mama. What are some things you've taken away from your mother that have made you respect the good, the bad, and the ugly?
You know, my mother did not suffer fools gladly. So that's the main thing that I got from her. She was very kind, but she also would call a spade a spade. So my ability to step on a neck when need be is definitely my mother. My husband has now told me that some of my facial expressions are my mother, and this is from a man that never had the pleasure of meeting her. Mm-hmm. But he knows when the face ain't me. He'd be like, all right, little friend. All right. So those two things. And my mother also really loved and celebrated people. And I hope that if there's any calling card I leave when I go on to glory, it's that I really loved people because I do. And so I think that's the other part of it. Everyone in that room is someone that I personally have a relationship with, that I personally care about, and who I know personally cares about me. So it was a love fest in that room for that reason. And there were so many friends that either couldn't make it or, you know, I wasn't able to invite because of how expensive it all was. But I've even talked to all of them and explained the situation, and they even understand. So it's just been lovely. It's been love, and my mother was there in spirit for sure.
She was definitely there.
And newlywed Yvette Nicole Brown. If you want to check out her wedding pictures, just go to her Instagram page at Yvette Nicole Brown. We got more coming up on Café Mocha.
Want a little more of our flavor? Stay right there. It's Café Mocha.
Café Mocha with actress and newlywed Yvette Nicole Brown. Let's get back into it.
Last thing that I want to point out is that Leslie Odom Jr. sang The First Time I Saw Your Face. And when I tell you, I have that. Okay, I captured that in all my drunkenness.
Send it to me, Loni.
I will send it to you. My question to you is the feeling of having someone of him sing for your wedding, and, you know, just can you describe the feelings that you were going through dancing with your husband?
Yes, this is a fun fact. Leslie stepped in to do that 2 hours before the wedding.
What?
We had, yes, you see, this is an exclusive for Café Mocha. So I'm dear friends with El DeBarge, who I absolutely love and have loved since I was 12 years old. And I did not ask anyone to do anything any performer, any entertainment person. I didn't ask any of them to do anything because I didn't want anybody to have to pay for their supper, sing for their supper. So Elle was already coming to the wedding, and he reached out and said, I would love to sing for you and your husband as my gift. And I'm like, oh my God, Elle, that would be just amazing. So Elle was going to be the one that performed at the reception, and he had a family emergency 2 hours before the wedding and reached out and said, oh my God, Yvette, I'm so sorry, I can't make it, I'm at the hospital. And so he ended up sending a video where he sang. You guys didn't see the video, Lon, because we didn't have the opportunity, the ability to play. You heard him speak, but you didn't see the video. So when we got the call from Elle, I reached out to Leslie and I said, Leslie, I'm so sorry to do this, but we've got this baby grand piano. And he said, say less. He said, what do you need? So I connected him with Dr. Richard Sheckman, who was my friend Robin's husband, who was already going to just be playing different times during the reception. And they got together an hour before the wedding in that ballroom, worked out what song they were going to do, rehearsed it once, and then the two of them performed at the reception. So getting up to dance to that, knowing how it came together, made it even more special. Leslie and I have been friends since we started in this business. We've been friends since 2003, the very first, as long as we've been friends, Lonnie. He was the first, when I did the Big House, the first sitcom I did with Kevin Hart, Leslie had a recurring role on there, and he was just starting in the business. He had done some acting on stage, but nothing on screen. And so he did that and then became, Hamilton and all the other things he's done since then. But he's been my dear friend for 22 years. So it was a blessing that he did that. It was amazing.
I took a picture of Leslie and I sent it to him and I said, it was just beautiful. Thank you for showing up and showing out. And he said he wrote me back. He said it was my honor. And I was so happy and honored to be included. As we let you go, Yvette, there are a lot of listeners that are single, that are, over 40, and they need some inspiration and some hope. Any words of advice to those women that are listening? You know what? Angelique.
Angelique is somewhere like, how did I get in this? What I will say, and I mean this from my heart, it is not too late. It's not too late. And the only thing that makes us feel that way is that society is so tough on women. They are so tough, and especially on Black women. They will list statistics of how rare it is for us to find. Ignore it. Ignore it. Keep doing what God called you to do on this earth. Figure out what your call is and stay active in that call. Because I promise you, we're here to do something. We're not here to be wives and mothers alone, right? There are many that will leave this earth that have never become wives and mothers by their choice or by circumstance. So that can't be the reason we're here. We each have a call on our life, and get busy in your call and trust that if it is on your heart and if it's in your heart to be a wife or to be a mother, be it through birth, adoption. I got 2 new stepsons. I'm a mother. I never thought I would be a mom, but I'm a mother now. So you never know how it's going to come your way. Just keep doing the good work and trust that when it's your time, it will come. And I love that. So do not fall for the okie doke. It is not too late.
I love that. Yvette Nicole Brown, you can catch her on Carl Weber's The Family Business, New Orleans, January 23rd on BET+. Thank you so much for your time, Yvette. You always have a place here at Cafe Mocha.
And thanks for representing
me, ladies. Love y'all.
Thank you.
I got you, Yo-Yo. I got you, baby. All right, bye, y'all.
Bye, baby.
Make sure you check out the spinoff show Family Business New Orleans on BET+, starring Lela Rochon and Brandon T. Jackson. Rapper David Banner's in it. And, of course, our guest, Yvette Nicole Brown. Make sure you check out the full interview at mochapodcastnetwork.com. Until next time, you can follow us on all platforms at Café Mocha Radio. Café Mocha is a production of Miles Ahead Broadcasting in partnership with Super Radio. Executive producer Sheila Eldridge. For comments, booking, or more information, visit cafemocharadio.com.